you guys, thanks for tuning in again. This is the second of our garden tours. There have been several big changes in the garden. We didn't quite make as much progress as we wanted. We ran into a few hiccups over the last couple weeks. The truck broke down, so we didn't have a way to reliably get large quantities of compost that we wanted to put on our garden beds. Our neighbors have offered to bring us over a couple tractor scoopers full of mulch, so we're just waiting on them to get free time to do that. They also run a huge farm operation, so they are busy a lot of the time too. In addition to that, I had a random freak accident last week and had a mild concussion, and so spent most of the end of last week and over the weekend just resting. No screen time, no videos, not even a lot of physical activity, which I knew was the best, but still frustrating. In addition, the weather has not been super nice, and so we've been kind of disappointed that we haven't gotten out as much as we wanted. But I think all these things are just teaching us a lesson in patience. As much as we want to get out here, it is still kind of early. We have plenty of time, and we just need to be patient and enjoy the moments that we do have, where we're slowed down a little bit, sitting around the fire inside, enjoying time with the littles, and just relaxing as a family, because once things get rolling out here, there is a lot to do. So let's take a look at what's happening over here. So there's some definite improvements since the last time I showed you guys the garden. You can see right here, there is a new trellis, and way back there is a new trellis. If you follow us on Instagram, you saw the video of us bringing home those cattle panels on the top of a SUV instead of in our truck, because the truck was so short. So we have plans to do some vertical gardening this year for the first time, inspired by Roots and Refuge. If you don't follow Roots and Refuge Farm on Instagram or on YouTube here, you should do it. She posts a ton of awesome videos, vlogs, how-tos, gardening updates and tips, and it's really inspiring. So these vertical trellises have been inspired by her, one at each end of the garden. If we move a little closer, hopefully you can appreciate that we were able to turn over all of the garden beds. All the soil's been turned over. We again are waiting for some truckloads of compost to amend. You can see some of these beds, like, we like the soil to be at least level, so they definitely need some more compost. Some of the beds down here especially are really low, but we at least made some progress. It was defrosted, thawed out enough that we could get out here and do a little bit of work. Our strawberries in this bed, if you'll remember last time, I wasn't quite sure, but you can see there's definitely some strawberries coming up, so that's exciting. I think I counted 1, 2, 3, I think I counted 4 the other day. Now I only see 3, not sure. This bed, our strawberries are doing awesome too. You can see they're doing great. Lots of new little leaves and growth, and that's really exciting. Our rhubarb's also doing well. You can see some leaves there. It's still getting pretty cool at night, maybe down into the low 30s, so we haven't moved anything outside yet. You can also see in the raspberry patch, so my husband took out those posts, the wires. The former homeowners did this area as grapevines, but we're using it as a raspberry patch, so we didn't need those posts or those wires up. So again, raspberries are doing good. Look, there's a few little leaves coming, so yeah, they're getting there. If I can get it in focus. Some buds, so that's super exciting too. Raspberries are coming along. And then again, over here we have our asparagus patch. See if we dig down in here a little bit. Do you see anything coming up? Not quite. So, not quite on the asparagus. We'll eventually cut these back, but maybe soon on the asparagus. I should probably also highlight these bird houses. My husband made these bluebird houses for me a couple years ago. Last year we forgot to put them up because life got a little crazy. But this year we put them up. We have one back here and then we have 3 along the drive. So those are our bluebird houses. We're hoping to have bluebirds. We'll keep you posted. So coming up on the herb garden, you guys see these 4 pots here. These are the elderberries roots that we started last year. In the back fence row, we started 10 of them. They did not do great, mainly because they had a lot of competition with a lot of weeds. We just underestimated the weeds and keeping up with them. So we dug up, these are the only 4 that survived out of 10. Not hateful, but dug them up and they all had great root systems. You can see this one already has this big branch coming off. So we have high hopes for that one. The rest of these had really good root systems, so we're hoping. So those will go in the greenhouse for a while. And maybe next spring we'll plant them again, depending on how they're doing. We want them to be a little bit more robust before we put them in the ground again. And we need to find a new area for them. You can see some of my Roman chamomile is coming up this week, as well as we've got parsley over there. And we were able to finish taking out all of the grass. You can see some of the tools that we had out. We were working earlier today in the misty rain. So we got all the grass out. We got it mostly raked. We will add a full layer of compost over this entire bed before we start planting. I'm thinking we still have several weeks based on the temperatures before we actually start planting. So we're just gonna play it by ear and unfortunately wait on the weather. Unfortunately, fortunately, but we're gonna be waiting on the weather for a little bit more time. A quick update on our flat of greens. I went ahead and started transplanting all of our bok choy, transplanted some of the spinach, you can see these empty cells, and some of our kale. Our celery is slowly coming up, but it's there, just a lot lighter than I anticipated germination rate. Mizuna is doing great. Right here, this is our Mizuna. Lettuce, and some tricolored romaine. Back in this tray, my parents gave us some of their bee balm. There's 2 different colored flowers. One is like a reddish and one's like a maroon. So my parents gave us those. Those will go in the herb. All right, last few pictures for this week. We are starting transplanting. We've decided this year to transplant our tomatoes into these buckets. They are frosting buckets that you can get from your local grocery store's bakery. They're free. You just have to clean them out. You just have to go ask for them. We have tons of these. So we're planting our tomatoes in these buckets. These got transplanted last night. Some of them look a little weepy. We'll see how they do. They're still in here for now. Eventually they will go out into our greenhouse once we get that set up. If we come up here, here's the rest of our tomatoes. They're out of control. They need to all be transplanted there. We planted them initially about a month ago, so they're ready. Down here you can see the results of some of our transplanting. This is our kale. And these broken pieces that you see are actually pieces we've cut off to try eating. They were very yummy. This is all of our bok choy, and it's doing great. So the first transplanted about 3 days ago. The first night and first 48 hours almost, things looked really droopy and really weepy, but they're looking great. There's a couple that maybe don't look great. We'll see how they come back. These will go out once it gets significantly warmer, but hopefully in the greenhouse soon. We need some more of this space. This is a flat of mostly herbs and some tomatillas back there and a few peppers that we planted maybe 2 weeks ago. Everything here is doing fantastic, not ready to be transplanted. But overall, we are super happy with how everything that we've started is doing, and we're really excited to finish transplanting most of it this week and get some other things started, like flowers, some other herbs, some of our spring crops that we're going to start inside. We're really excited to get that stuff going.